have had quite an interesting last 12 hours or so. So last night, before I fell asleep, I was sat on my bed eating handfuls of like nuts and dried fruit, super stressed out. That's like my binge. I knew that I was placating myself, that there's something big going on, and I had sat with it for like 2 hours or so already, and I was just like, oh man, I can't do this. I can't do this. I need something. So that was my yeah, like food is my way of placating, and so I went and got like you know, a handful of the thing, and then I went back like a couple of times. I just sat on my bed in the dark and just like shoved it back, and I was like, well, I really feel like crap, really, like, and I even said to myself, I was like, I just want to like die. I want this situation to die. I just want to be over it. I want to be on the other side by now, which I know is stuff I can't even imagine, and it's not through death that I get there. Anyways, so, and then I remind myself, but sweetheart, like, and I, you know, I went through all the usual stuff, and the latest thing that's come up for me, and what I tell the other Earth mothers, and I just did that, because there was one of the younger ones who sent me a message and just said, like, I'm having a really hard time. She's such a beautiful soul, and you know, she's like, the struggle is real. And I wrote back initially, already hours before, and I said, I understand, I get it, honey, I get it, and you know, just as best as possible, you know, if you can just kind of go with the flow and let go of the stuff, you know, what's bothering you, what's the struggle, what's the thing, and she did write back later on, and she said, you know, it feels like you know, the energy that was already high is just increasing. And yeah, well, it is. Just look around at the world and see what's going on. I mean, La Palma being a focal point, right? Mother Nature, I think in the last video I talked about this, Mama Gaia is literally exploding. And anyways, we're gonna go all over the place today. So I sent her, yeah, that message. She wrote me back and said that it's, you know, it's just boom, it's just on top of what's already really sort of awry. And so I didn't respond to that one, but then it came to me when I was sat there in my sort of tornado of shitness, let's call it that. I was like, wait a second, what if you taught these guys? What if you relayed that, like, yeah, you know, surrender and all that stuff, but like, you know, here we are as the Earth Mothers, and we're in this constant, this is new, this only came to me a couple weeks ago, we're in this constant state of pregnancy and birthing, and pregnancy, though, I mean, it's obviously it's a beautiful thing, but it's the definition of chaos, right? And not chaos as a bad thing, but it's chaos. It's organization in the making, basically, right? It's order happening. It's a beautiful thing. And I mean, when you equate it to pregnancy, then yes, right? But what I've said to the other Earth Mothers is that, like, we are in this constant state of pregnancy and birthing. So when we're in this, like, what feels really horrible and really strong, it's this, like, well, you know, it's actually, we've gone from the pregnancy to the labor, and we're feeling the labor pains, and it's all, you know, So we gotta breathe. We gotta breathe and slow down and just go with the flow. Drink lots of water. You know, be good. Be ever so good to your precious body, and allow the birth to take place. And on the other side of birth is bliss. Like, is absolute bliss. So I went through this. I think I might have made a video a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, can't remember. And I recognized it, and I wasn't in such a state of resistance as I was last night. I don't know why I did that. Never mind. So the bliss came rather quickly. You know, I didn't have to go. Actually, I can't even remember. But it wasn't as bad. That's what I'm trying to say. And the cognizance of actually, I'm in, this is birth right now, so just relax, 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 relax. And then there's bliss, and that's what happens. Like, there's this, it's ecstasy. It's phenomenal. So I went through all that yesterday, and I sent her a message, and I said, remember the pregnancy birthing thing, that's what it is. So just, oh, baby, just let go, just release, release, release. Get away from people, be in solitude, breathe, whatever. I can't remember what I said, but it was along those lines. And anyway, so I fall asleep, and then I wake up late. My alarm went off at the usual. And I think I sat up, and I was like, no. Didn't judge myself for not being the disciple to my higher self, all that kind of stuff. And I just went back to sleep. And I got up, I think 2 hours later. And I was like, now do I stick with my usual stuff, or what am I doing? I was like, no, just jump in the shower, get outside, go outside. So I jump in the shower first, and I give myself the external cleanse, and then I have an idea. Like, okay, we'll go outside. I'll tell you the idea in a moment. And I decide, though. I was like, but listen, do your breathing. Do some meditation. All right? Just sit, just sit, just sit. So I do that. Not cognizant of the time at all. I don't care. And so I finish, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited because I'm going to the gas station. I'm not going to go on my usual walk. And, well, I want to see the water. It's been raining a lot, so I want to get to the river and see how high it is. I'm fascinated with that. Anyways, so I gotta go to the gas station because I need to pick up a top-up card for my SIM, my mobile phone. So, but what came to me during the meditation, or at some point, perhaps it was in the shower, who cares, was that I'm gonna see if they've got cigarillos, because I could really go for one. Every now and again, I do that. You know, I don't smoke cigarettes, or, wow, the occasional cigar once in a blue moon when it presents itself. Happy to do that. And it's a weird, bizarre thing. You know, like, I remember thinking the last time that I did it was, I remember exactly where and with whom, because I thought to myself, it was the same thing. I was like, man, I'd love a cigarette. And then I met with a friend. We had a business meeting. This is in Bratislava still. And he says to me, look, we'll go for a coffee. Do you mind if we go to a smoking zone? Because I'd love to have a cigarette with my coffee. And I'm like, let me join you, please. So we go to a cafe, and they have like a separate area where one can smoke. And so I have a cigarette, and that serves me well for the next, I think that was maybe 2 years ago, I think, 2, maybe 3. God, Bratislava, I love you, man, I love you. Anyways, so I'm at the gas station this morning, and I get the top-up card, and I asked the young girl at the counter, I was like, do you have cigarillos? Because I don't see anything. I don't even see cigarettes. I don't know what the rules are here anymore. I don't care. Anyways, so they're hidden, completely hidden. So she didn't know what I was talking about. So she's like, I was like, you know, thin, looks like a cigar, whatever. And so she pulls out a box, and I was like, yes, that's it. Anyhow, long story short, I get myself a cigarillo, a lighter, and I think I'm gonna smoke this as I walk in the rain, but not before having a beautiful conversation with this girl, Gabita, whose name means poetry or poems. Which and that's what the feeling was like with her. We were just talking so beautifully. I don't know how long I was there, but it was just so beautiful. She's like, come back anytime, you know. It was so wonderful. I just asked lots of questions. I mean, she's a student here from India, and you know, studying at the college, and I'm just curious. Anyways, I leave there, walk across the street, about to head over to the river, and I see there's someone sat at the bus stop, waiting for a bus. So I walk by him, say hello, really excitedly, and then and he smiles and he responds. So I just walk back, and that ensued in a conversation of I don't know how long we were there for, but or how long I was there for before the bus came, and you know, we gave hugs and great love and all that kind of stuff. But it was that conversation that I wish to unfold, because it's so big. It was so big. We talked about God. We talked about the virus. We talked about our body and emotions. We went all around the world. We really did. A couple of kids, you know, the pair of us, and immediately just like that got on and just dove into it. You know, it's not like, oh, the rain sucks and whatever. Just jumped right in. And I think actually I asked him, I was like, are you scared? Are you scared of this pandemic thing? And he's like, no, not at all. And his thing was, look, you know, I'm aware of it, and that's enough. Do I need to, you know, like side myself with anything and you know, all that kind of stuff? No, it is, period. 100%. My guy, wonderful. And so then, hang on. I'm a horrid multitasker, so I had to just pour my coffee. So yes, then the conversation, you know, we've got that sort of out of the way. And I asked him, I said, do you believe in God? And he said, well, yeah, sometimes, yeah. And I was like, what does that mean, sometimes? And I mean, he doesn't know me. He doesn't know what angle I'm asking from or whatever. And he says, well, I believe in something. You know, I don't believe in religion and all that stuff, but you know, I don't go to, he's Hindu by background, and he says, I don't go to the mandir and, you know, whatever, but I believe in, you know, that there is a God. And I was like, yes, you know, and then it was, you know, the conversation went to, you know, he's not a dude in the sky that punishes and judges and all that kind of stuff. And we talked about religion. Really interesting. Brilliant kid. And I got to ask questions that I've been meaning to ask, really wanting to ask. And I think it's not questions that I might get punched in the face for. But here we go, YouTube. Actually, cheers with my Winnie on my coffee. So, you know, what we were saying is, okay, so God's not at the temple. You know, you don't have to go somewhere to receive God. There's not a dude that sits in the sky. I mean, I wrote something somewhere, I can't remember, and I think it was in a message yesterday, and I said, you know, to my friend who I haven't spoken to in ages, and I said, you know what, like, there's nothing more absolute these days than then the path with God. And again, it's, you know, and I refer to God as an it or that, you know, with capital, because like, again, not a dude in the sky, not a dude, no father, mother, principal, whatever, all that. Actually, father, the word has been absolutely misconstrued. That's different conversation. That's going to be with Jonathan Spencer of Seven Circles. Anyways, so we won't go there so much right now. So yeah, God, not a dude in the sky. You know, there's no temple that we have to go to. This body is the living temple within which is God. But God isn't relegated to being enclosed, because when we agree that, you know, this thing has created everything, nature and the birds and, you know, everything, and, you know, then God is everywhere, right? Everywhere. This thing is everywhere. This thing that created us is everywhere. And that's why I always say, like, it's in this space between us, between me and the phone, between me and you. And I don't end right here and you start over there. You know, we're all connected, and that's what oneness is, right? Part of it. I don't think there isn't a straight definition. Just like God, there's no straight definition. What is God? Well, what is love? Undefinable. Everything. You know, so anyways, you know, we're talking about vibration. I asked this guy, I asked him, you know, do you know about quantum physics and vibration and stuff? And he's like, yeah. I was like, brilliant. You know, I'm really cognizant of his boss. And wouldn't you believe, one comes around and it's going to the garage. So we get to chat longer. Super excited. He sees it. I'm oozing with excitement. And we say, like, you know, in this goodness, here we are at our best. We feel so good, right? You do, I do. Yes. He's smiling. I'm like, I'm standing there just absolutely in childlike, just so over the moon. Just because I'm having a conversation with him. And I've had this brilliant conversation with this girl. And I've got a cigarillo in my pocket. Like, it's all good. It's all good. And that word is God, right? Anyways, so we get onto the vibration talk. So, vibration. Let's talk about a radio for a second, okay? Because that might be the easiest way to understand this. You get a radio, old school, right? And you have the tuner and you use it to tune into different stations. Where are those stations? Where do they come from? How does that even happen? Well, quite simply, they exist in space. Can we agree on that? They're just in space. And what this radio does, it has a transducer within it, just like the television, just like our phones, just like all the smart devices, just like everything else. So there's a transducer inside. And so it decodes the vibration so that we can receive it as music or the news or whatever. Simple, just simple, all right? So it's just like R2-D2, actually. R2-D2, do you remember in Star Wars, in the very first one, or third one, I don't know, the first one that we saw, when R2-D2 is, I think it's R2-D2, or I think not C-3PO. Anyways, I love Star Wars. I think it's whatever, it is what it is. It's the first one. And do you remember when he projects that holograph of Princess Leia? I mean, he does that because it's simple. He's like a radio. He's receiving, there is something inside of him from which he just projects an image, but it's an image and not a sound. Well, it's both, or just an image. I can't remember right now. Anyways, you get what I'm saying? Is that simple enough? Anyways, all that to say, everything exists in space, and not space out there. Yes, the space out there too, but this space right here. And we are tuning into, no, what we are receiving, our reality that we're receiving, is what dial we are on. Does that make sense? So if you're feeling quite shitty, as I was last night, my radio dial, and our transducer is actually the pineal gland, okay? So what I'm projecting, let's put it this way, the dial, the station that I was tuned into last night was crap. We don't need to label it and judge it and whatever, but it just wasn't feeling good, because I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't thinking good. I had to change that, and I did, right? So anyways, I reached into space by choice to feel good. And that is how you change the dial. That is how you get to a better station. So I'm always going on about this, and I always will. I won't stop talking about feeling good. It is paramount to your life outcome, your life expression in a day. It's paramount. So we have that conversation. He knows. He's totally with it. He's totally with it. God bless him. You know, sweet guy. Ashu was his name, and I didn't ask him what it meant, because I was jumping all over the place with questions, cognizant of the boss, but I'm curious what it means. Anyways, he's beautiful. It doesn't matter what it means. Oh, this is so much fun. We continue having the conversation about God. God is everywhere. That thing is everywhere. Isn't nowhere, is everywhere. In my coffee, is the mug, is everything. Like, it's everything, just everything. So then I say, so if it's everything, that thing called God, it's also the virus, right? He's like, yeah. So what are we afraid of? Actually, what are we afraid of? I've been wanting to ask this question. So many people who believe in God, but I don't know what the word is. And maybe I'll just say only sometimes. When it comes to a virus, a pandemic, well, we have to put God aside. Like, does that make sense? Please, like, somebody, talk to me. Does that make any sense? You believe in God. When it comes to a virus, all of a sudden we don't. Convenient, hey? You know, I've said it, and I'll say it again and again and again as well. This thing that... this is akin, actually, let me just backtrack for a second. There was one morning I went out for my walk, and I knew it was going to pour. This is well into summer. And not only pour, I could feel the lightning, the electricity, the thunder. I could feel it. And I think there were even probably rumbles of thunder. I was like, I'm going for my usual walk. And all I kept saying to myself was, there's nothing but God. Nothing all around me, everywhere. So even the lightning is God. And I do that all the time. I like walk out and I say, good morning, God tree. Good morning, God bird. Good morning, whatever. You know? And because everything is, right? Everything is. I am that. I am that. I am. So that morning in particular, I'm out there. There's nothing but God. All is God. So it starts. And I'm not even halfway. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go right through it. Am I scared? No. absolutely no fear. I mean, this lightning, like I could see it in the distance when I knew that it was happening, going to happen, could see it. And I had exit plans, actually. Not plans. I questioned myself. I was like, look, you're going into this subdivision of, you know, half-built homes and stuff like that. You could just hide out there for a bit, you know, let the storm pass over. Okay, that's there. And but then when it started to rain, and it was full on going, I was like, no, man, no fear. I'm going to do this. And if lightning strikes me, so be it. So be it. And I walked through that. And here I am. You know, I do that often. I do that often where I realize something is dangerous or whatever. I'll contemplate it and I'll come to the place of no fear. All is God, everything, you know what? I'm gonna go with that. You know, walking through dark parking lots and stuff like that. Very conscious of doing it and giving myself to where I came from, the Creator, right? Anyways, that was a lead into something and I can't remember. So, I've said before that I'm willing. You know, if the virus is God, then I'm willing to have that thing, the virus itself, injected directly into my blood. No problem. Bring it. Anyone today, still, that's out there. I'll do it. And in fact, what we can do is when you have that virus, pure virus, which actually still to date hasn't been isolated, according to yeah, anyways, hasn't been isolated. But you know, when someone does isolate it, and if that information is disinformation, then bring it on. And what we can do is get some 9-year-old child and you know, put a spot on my arm and where to inject it, and the child can do it. Happy to do that. The concocted thing, however, the ungodly thing, because that's what it is. It's man-made. You know what I'm talking about, the job. Yeah, I won't go there. I'm all right with the virus. Okay, whatever. If my body is God, if I am, you know, if my body is God, I'm taken care of. And I'm willing absolutely to die saying that. Bring it on. Get sick, no problem. Whatever, I don't care. No fear. And I think that's pretty bold, you know. But I think, you know, if more people ask questions, like, actually, am I afraid? Am I afraid of dying? Are we afraid of dying? Are you? I mean, I'm actually not. Like, I'm not. It's okay. It's all right, you know. Again, the reincarnation thing. Like, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. Maybe, whatever, right? So anyways, actually, I'm gonna finish this talk here and get into the body talk, the emotions talk, which is connected. We'll do that in another video. However, man, I gotta tell you, that cigarillo was amazing. It was absolutely brilliant. And then I did walk myself down to the river, and it was high. It was well worth seeing. And then I did the rest of my walk, which is brilliant. Singing along, happy. You would never, if you saw me last night, you'd have been like, and even I said to myself, God, I am depressed, man. Help me, buddy. You know, and this morning, I've got to tell you this. I think I said it at some point this morning when I still wasn't quite, quite there here, I was like, surprise me. And you know, I say that often. And oh man, get beautiful surprises from that thing called God. And so I said that to myself this morning as I was still sat on my bed. I think, I can't remember if it was before or after meditation. I was like, surprise me, man. Which is what I call God. Actually, I've got loads of names for that thing. And so I'm walking along this morning, happy. I was like, surprise me. Just comes out of my mouth. I look to my right and I see a woodpecker, which normally I hear before I see. How beautiful it was. How beautiful it was. And I laughed to myself. I laughed. And then I was like, all right. You know, I love playing this game with you. So let's just carry on playing. You know, because normally I'll be like, oh, that's enough. You know, it's cool. That's cool, man. You know, this morning I was like, let's just keep on playing because, you know, I love this childish game with you. I'm not even finished saying it. And I say that every time. Not even finished saying it. And I'm directed to look left, where I see a whole bunch, flock, whatever you want to call them, I don't care, of wild turkeys. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful turkeys. And I count them. And there's 9. Of course, there is a significance to that, but we'll talk about numerology another time. So that's me done on this video, and I'll pop right back on to do the emotions. Your body is God. Your emotions are God video. I love you guys. I love you. I hope you're excited. I hope you made it to the end, and I hope you get something from these videos. I'm not going to stop doing them. I can't, do you know what? It's so funny. There's no one I can call to tell all this stuff to. There's like right now. I mean, there is Jonathan in LA and he's sleeping. But otherwise I can't, there's no one I can actually pick up the phone and call and tell all this exciting stuff. But that's okay. Here we are. And who's meant to receive it receives it. So just chill. Just chill. And all right, next bit. Love you guys. Bye. Where's the thing?